basically, this program is about cold water fish farming, and we have been, conducting these sessions locally with the farmers. But the problem now is that due to COVID, we are not able to travel, we're not able to meet people. So we started this initiative of online program, and HESCO, along with Kaathkuni Edu-Tourism, is partnering in this project of online training. I think Mr. Suresh, Dr. Suresh is here with us. Dr. Suresh Chandra will be taking you through the training session. And I think, Dr. Saab, if you can brief the participants on what is expected in the program. Over to you, Dr. Saab. Thank you.
Welcome to the participants. Well, friends, sorry for this inconvenience caused to you. I will be starting on this cold water fish farming. Today, this will be our introductory part, I would mean. Cold water, when we speak, cold water means a water temperature which remain below 20 degrees centigrade throughout the year. So that is the only difference with warm water. In warm water, this temperature sometimes goes beyond 35, 32, 33. And when we speak of this fresh water and marine water, so before I start, I will give you some briefing about how many types of fish farming is there in our country. In our country, we are the third in overall production and second in aquaculture. And every year, our country export around 50,000 crores of this earn money through this export of shrimps and then seaweeds and many other products, marine products. So day by day, this fish farming is getting so much importance in our country and becoming a very good livelihood source. When we speak of Northeast, in Northeast also, we have vast river resources, then this small ponds, lakes. There, if we have small idea about, idea about what is fish farming, how we can grow fish, what are the species, how they should be kept, from where we can get all these. So I will be giving little 2-3 about a few species, very important species. And if you have any query, then you can start. So when this, mostly in our country, we are dealing with 6-7 species, commercially important. That one is katla, second one is rohu, third one is mragal, fourth one is silver carp, and then grass carp, and then this common carp. When this katla, rohu, and mragal, these 3 species, they are mostly inhibit in water temperature, where this it goes above 22, 25, 26 degree also. So when we speak of this cold water in foothills, we can use this species. So we must know what are these species. Katla, commonly known. It is a very fast growing fish. This is from our own rivers, indigenous species, and grows around 700, 800 in polyculture system. Polyculture means where we grow 4-5 species combination. And this is, we call it plankton, zooplankton feeder fish, and remain in the surface. So mostly, if you have a water body where you have good plankton, so you can think of this katla. So this is one species. And temperature is above 20, 25, 26, 30 also goes, then this fish can be grown. But this has some limitations with lower water temperature. So if you have lower water temperature of below 10 degree, 15 degree in winter season, so we may not consider this katla. And then fecundity, you must be knowing fecundity means how much eggs when it get maturity. So this fish get maturity in 2-3 years, mostly. And then we can get around 2 to 3 lakhs egg from 1 kg of brooder. So this is all about katla. Second one is rohu. Rohu is the most preferred species of our country In Northeast also, this is highly preferred. This is also from our rivers. Rohu also like this katla. We call it column feeder. Column means in middle of the surface. But since our farming is mostly based on this supplementary feeding, so they have now little importance. But in natural conditions, they are column feeder. This fish also having good market price, grows about slightly lower than this katla, around 600-700 gram per year, and get maturity after 2-3 years. Male get maturity first before then female. And fecundity means this egg laying capacity is also around 2 lakh to 3 lakh. And this is also mostly in polyculture system, this rohu is cultured. Third one is our call mrigal, this mrigal, or commonly known as man. This fish is bottom feeding fish, bottom feeding. So suppose we say to farmer, or we suggest farmer where you have a good water depth around 3 meter, 4 meter, and you have good this bottom, rich bottom. So there you can struggle. Bottom feeding and harvesting also difficult. Means this remain in the bottom. So if somebody want to take it, poaching also you can stop by this stocking by this mrigal. So this is all about these 3 species. In hills when we speak, this may not have much importance, but in foothills also, in Assam, in many northeast regions, these fishes are also being grown. The important one for our hills is silver carp. Silver carp is without scales, and this is also phytoplankton feeder. It feeds on phytoplankton, and they are also fast growing and suitable for our hill farming, where you have even, I have seen in our farms where this water temperature goes below 5-6 degree also in winter, they can sustain, no problem, and grows also well. And this egg laying capacity is little lesser than this indigenous our carps. This is exotic carp. Exotic means this was brought in our country from other sources to control this kai jisko bolte hain, black, this algal blooms, phytoplankton blooms. So this is silver carp. Next one is grass carp. Grass carp is also a grass eating fish. That is also exotic species in our country. Fast growing, suitable for cold water species. And here we get around 1 lakh this seed. 1 lakh seed we get through this grass carp, and grows very fast. And see, this is very voracious grass eater. So areas where you have a large amount of this grass, you suppose water hyacinth is there, jalkumbhi we know, very common in many big lakes, or this. So they may not feed on that hard aquatic weeds, soft aquatic weed like hydrilla, najas, then barsim, like this grass they take. Okay, and they grow very fast. And there is one proverb: if you stock in your pond 1 grass carp, you can have 2 more fish, silver carp. Because whatever they take, no, their main feed is this cellulose. Cellulose. Grass means cellulose. So that is not eaten properly. Undigested also they excrete. So that undigested act as fertilizer for other fish. That help in growing of this phytoplankton, zooplanktons, and that is the good feed for silver carp also. So there is one proverb: if you stock 1 grass carp in 1 pond, you can have 2 silver carp same time in your pond without giving much. And third one is very common, that is called common carp. There are many new species also being imported. Our directorate, our institute also, we brought one fish from Hungary that we call Hungarian common carp. These fish, this all 5 species, friends, they are not breeding in pond. But this common carp, they lay eggs, even if male females are there, within 5-6 months, they start giving this laying eggs. So this is one problem. So what will the end result? We are giving feed to grow fish, but what happened? They most of our energy goes to the formation of this reproductive organs. So that way, this sometimes this is to reduce this problem. We brought there is one new now species of common carp. You must be knowing that is called Amur common carp. So their reproductive features are little lesser and they grow faster. So this is all about 6 species. 3 are very common in our hills. Suppose if you are interested to start, so you can start with silver carp, grass carp, common carp. Before doing any activity in your area, you know the basic background of that fish. Because what happened no when you go to some net, there's many this internet, social media, you may get many other information. We sometimes see nowadays, you must be knowing biofloc, you may earn 25 lakh, and this RAS system, recirculatory system, some of they claim that they get 10 lakh, 15 lakh. So you should not believe all these things unless until it is properly validated, and because there are many other things also which they don't reveal. So this way our farmers are also getting sometime misleaded to other activities. So we should be very careful while starting any activity related to fish. Third one is, see, when we talk of this fish farming, we must know how many types of pond we have. So one, we call it nursery pond. Nursery means where we put small fish of that size is 25 to 30 mm size, or 2 mm to 3 mm, reared for 15 to 20 days. That grows to around 15 to 20 mm within 15 to 20 days. And such type of ponds are called nursery pond, because fish is small, they require a lot of care, and that size of pond is also very small, 0.2 to 0.02 to 0.1. So 200 square meter to 1000 square meter. Next category of this pond, we call it rearing pond. Rearing means where we stock this fry of 15 to 20 days old. So there the size is bigger. In this nursery, there are many things. Later on we'll discuss if you have any interest. Suppose nursery, always we conduct only monoculture. Only monoculture means only one species is being cultured. But in rearing ponds, you can have 2-3 combination also. Just suppose grass carp, silver carp, common carp species also together you can stock. Size is bigger because they become slightly more resistant to environment, more faster for taking outside feed. So that we call it rearing. This month of duration is 2 to 3 months. And by growing in rearing pond, size is 500 to around 2000 square meter. Here and depth you can, how much it will be around 2 meter, 1.5 to 2 meter. And for how many days we put this fry here? For 2 to 3 months. And in the end we get around 5 to 10 grams of this bigger fish. We call it fingerling. These fingerlings are stocked in bigger ponds. If you stock smaller fish in your pond, what will happen? They may be eaten by many other predatory fish or by this frogs, larvae, many things. So to avoid all these things, we should have always bigger size of stocking material. If you go to a hatchery in Northeast also, many places, state departments, many other departments also supplying this seed. And common complaint is size is very small, but now they are trying their best to give bigger size fish, stunted fingerling we call. So that give good result, fast growth, and farmers also get good production. And then this grow out ponds is bigger ponds. So you can have 1 acre to 1 hectare area. And the duration is about 1 year. Be very clear when we stock fish. It is only for like other crops. Fish is also one crop. Sometimes what happens, some crazy farmers, they keep their fish for 2-3 years to show that that is growing 3 kg, 4 kg. So that may not be economically feasible. We must be very careful, and through your learning experience, you can learn. After 1 year, some will be 500 gram, some may be 1.5, some will be 1 kg, 1 kg. So depending on this demand, market demand, you can sell this one. So this is called grow out ponds. And last, this in hill farming, these are for the plain area mostly, where you have such a big land. But when we talk of hill farming, we have small areas, uneven terrain, and water source is not also, some places water source also may not have that much. So here this normal area is cemented tanks, 50 to 200 square meters. And duration is because of low temperature, fishes are not growing so fast. This duration is for 1 to 2 years. And then trout raceways. Raceway we call, these are the small term I would like to inform you. So that if you start your fish farming, you must be knowing what is nursery, what is rearing pond, what is grow out ponds, and in hills whether it is possible or not. Suppose if we say in hills we are preparing 1 hectare pond, may not be possible everywhere. In some places it may be possible. And in hill farming, always size is very small. So our management is different. Our this input cost also varies. And then ecosystem also changes, because here you don't have direct interaction with soil. And quantity also decreases, because suppose decomposition, if you put lime in your earthen pond, if you put 200 kg of lime, so the same quantity may not be required for this small tanks, because everything may not be that speedy. Decomposition may not be that much speedy. So we should be very careful while applying this inputs, feed, fertilizer in small ponds. And then last one we call trout raceways. Raceway is one system of farming where this water is coming from one end and water goes to out. And why running water? Because some species, very important species in Meghalaya, there is one, Shillong, there is one hatchery, a trout hatchery. In Arunachal Pradesh also, now Mechuka area, we have started here this trout farming. So trout raceways, trout is also one of the very highly profitable fish you can think of, including in your aquaculture system. So, am I audible? Hello? Okay. So, and see, okay? Yeah. And then next, grouping of fishes. Yeah. So, suppose, I hope and I believe you all are experienced, because in Northeast, I know everyone is very much acquainted with all type of farming and fish also. Okay. So there are 2-3 groups you should also be knowing, or I just wanted to repeat. One is called spawn. Spawn means 3 days old. 3 days old fish seed. We call it spawn. So, and weight is 2 to 3 milligram. That is called spawn. Then next one is fry. Fry means bigger size, as I told. No, after rearing for 12 to 15 days in nursery, so how much weight is 20 to 30 milligram. And then advanced fry, 30 milligram to 1 gram size. And fingerling is suitable for stocking in big grow out ponds, that is 60 to 100 mm, or weight is 8 to 10 gram. So these are the categories of the fishes. Suppose if you go to a hatchery, if a hatchery owner will ask you whether you need spawn, fry, or advanced fry, or fingerling. So we should know what is spawn, fry, or advanced fry, or fingerling. And there are many types of, depending on your resources, your local availability, local preference also. Many places I saw in Bengal, people prefer pabda. Ompop Pabda. In Assam, people like Clarius batrachus, Magur. And in some places, Anabas testudineus, morals in Shillong, Meghalaya, in northeast states. So depending on your demand or your local need, you can think of what kind of this fish farming I should start. So in nursery we talk, no. So suppose if you bring that spawn, so how much we should stock? So we stock around 3 to 5 million, 30 to 50 lakh per hectare. That is the stocking density. And I told it is monoculture. And for how many days? 3 days. Old spawn, 3 days. And survival we get around 40 to 50. So if you are making, suppose you thought that I have brought 50 means 50 lakhs. So I will be getting out of 50 lakh. May not be possible. In field condition, there are many things. Maybe because of nutritional or because of some surrounding environments. So survival, sometime you may get higher, sometime you may get, but on an average, it is around 40 to 50%. Then rearing pond, where we stock this fry. So here we stock around 22. Here we stock around 2 lakh to 3 lakh. 2 lakh to 3 lakh per hectare. And size is 20 to 25 mm. And survival is 70 to 80% here. We get higher survival. And interesting thing, this is also polyculture. Means 2-3 species you can stock in rearing ponds. And one more interesting thing is there. See, in rearing ponds, duration is how much? 2 to. Okay. So, and then what type of? There are 2 types of rearing system. One we call semi-intensive. Semi-intensive means where stocking density is less. Input, suppose you don't have much inputs. So input requirement is also less. Okay. So in semi-intensive, what we do, around 5,000 fry. We stock 1 pond, 5,000 fry. Okay. 5,000 plus of fish seed. Stocking size is fingerling. And this you can mute your this audio you can mute. Audio you can mute. Okay, then 8 to 10 gram size we stock. And then in intensive farming, stocking density is around 10,000 to 25,000. And we stock here fingerlings. Inputs also you need more. And what will be production? Here we get around 3 to 4 ton maximum production. But in intensive farming, you get around 7 to 10 ton per hectare. Okay. And this I will be skipping this slide. How much nutrients? See, if you go to one this laboratory. So whenever you start any farming, fish farming or horticulture or agriculture, so what we do, we go to a lab, we test our soil. What is the condition of soil? So what we say, if organic carbon is 0.5 gram per 100 gram. So milligram per 100 gram, sorry. So that is low. Medium is 0.5 to 1.5 and high is 1.5. Why we need all these things? Because in fish farming also we use fertilizers. So if your quantity is already higher, so you will be using less fertilizer. If it is medium, so normal. If it is low, so you have to increase the fertilization rate in your fish ponds. And then nitrogen. If it is below 25 milligram, if it is below 25 milligram, so that we call it low nitrogen. So you have to add more. If it is medium, that is 25 to 75 milligram per 100 gram of soil. And the high, 75 milligram per 100 gram of soil, that is high. Then available phosphorus also, below 3, we call it low. Medium 3 to 6. And higher, above 6. And depending on these 3 parameters, because these are the very important parameters of a soil. So depending on these things, we use raw cow dung. Suppose you are low, organic carbon is low. So how much we will use cow dung? Yearly 20 ton yearly. And see, everything is now not possible to tell, but there is one method. There is standardized method to utilize also cow dung. So you will be surprised. 20 ton only once. So that may change whole your water quality parameters. Not like that. So suppose if you need to apply 20 ton, what we do, installment, 5 or 6 or 7 installment, and 10 to 20% of total amount is being used during the preparation of pond. So if it is 20 ton, so how much you will be using? 5 ton of this cow dung per hectare. You will be using for low, where carbon is low. Where carbon quantity is medium, then 15 ton, and where it is very high already, then 10 ton. Similarly, if you are using, suppose nitrogen is less, so how much we use? Urea on nitrogen basis, you need one half the phytoplankton, zooplankton, periphyton, algal bloom, this periphyton, diatoms, many things. Okay. And secondly, suppose if you in a pond you stocked 5,000 of fish, and there is no phytoplankton. So from where fish will get oxygen? Okay. So one oxygen, if oxygen is there, then only fish will survive. So from where oxygen is coming? Some oxygen comes through environment that mix in the water, but some comes through this phytoplankton. So these are the many things combination. So we should have a very good nutritively rich pond for good fish farming. And speak the still aqua. There are 2 3 species. Today I will be, but it when asked, one trout. Rainbow trout is very interesting. In the 10 countries, this fish is being cultured in cold water, and fastest growing fish. Market price is also very high, but they have some limitations. Input rich. This require this fish is carnivorous fish, so they require higher amount of protein. If your feed is having higher level of protein, what it means, that cost will increase. So this fish cost is also little higher compared to carps, herbivore fish. Then one is many states. So these are the this golden fish, a very fast growing fish. So what we do, this may be used for double brooder, then ranching in this rivers. So that also, suppose if you establish a good hatchery in your area of this mahasir, people may not take for farming, but for ecotourism, ranching, this was very important species in this northeast. Then exotic carp-based farming in mid-hill altitudinal hill region. These exotic means common carp, silver carp, grass carp, and एक पंगु 1, 2, 3 more clay. This Levio species are there. They are also very common in northeast. So they are preferred by people, also local people. And then this is the raceway. Can you show that raceway? Raceway, I told, no, running water. Next slide, please. So these are the raceways. Okay. This raceway we call big around.
Whatever training we've had, What we normally do is after the training, we have this Q&A session in which we discuss some questions by the participants if they have any queries or any inquiries to make. So in the meantime, what we can do is you can prepare your queries. If whatever training we've had till now, you can prepare your queries, guys, and the best way to do it is you can send it across to us on the group. So what we do is we arrange an interview with the sir, and then we interview him with all the details. So that is how we do it, and then when will post that video on YouTube, and we'll share a link with you. So let's wait if he is back online, and in the meantime, the queries and all can be sent to our WhatsApp group. Thank you. Anything else you guys say? You're welcome.
Yeah. Hello. Hello.
Yes, sir. Please go. Please continue, sir. Your audio.
Audible? Okay. Okay. Then we have this rainbow trout. There is one stage we call it Idova stage. Idova. So here what happened now? When this Idova stage is there, you can transport this eggs from one place to another without any problem. There is no need of water also. Only thing you have to maintain this low water temperature, 2 to 3 degree or 1.5 to 2 degree. Even we imported this Idova from Denmark. From Denmark to our Uttarakhand also it comes. We exported, we supplied this trout hide from our place, from this Champawat. There is one place in Uttarakhand, from Champawat to Arunachal Pradesh. So, and this one is called Idova. Hello. Yes, next. 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 This is raceways. Yeah, stripping of eggs. Then this Idova. Next. Yeah, this one, please. So this breeding protocol, briefly, I would like to inform you what are the major parameters we consider. Then they get maturity in 2 to 3 years. This is male. This one is male. This lower one is male. Upper one is female. So what this belly is bulging in case of female. In males, that belly may not be that much swollen. Secondly, there is one hook, we call it jaw hook here, that develop during the breeding season. So based on this, you slightly, if you press the belly of that male, then you can get the milt, white milt. And if it is free flowing, so we say that fish is matured. If it is not very free flowing, then we say they may require some little more time. And then breeding season is October to February in hills. Depending on in northeast, in Sikkim, that October, November also they start breeding. In our place in Uttarakhand, it is around January, February. In Himachal also November, December, like that only. So how we select before, suppose if you would like to start this breeding, 2-3 months prior to this breeding, suppose if October, so August, September onwards, we start segregating this good healthy brooders in other tanks, raceways. So there we keep them, and then this fish is not breeding in the pond. What we do, stripping is conducted. Stripping means pressing of male and female belly. So we get an egg. And suppose big size fish is there, and if you are handling, they may get some injury. So we use clove oil, 10 to 15, 40 to 50 milligram per liter of this water that act as anesthesia. and that is very good. We get good results. Handling is also very less. They fish also, because in post stripping, what happened? Lot of mortality also report our farmers. So to avoid all these things, use of clove oil is also being used. And then how much egg 1 kg of fish lay? In carp we get 2 lakh, 3 lakh. But in trout, this trout only 1,800 to 2,000 numbers of eggs per kg of fish is you can get from this rainbow trout. Fertilization is also very high, 70 to 90%, depending on your management, your experience. Okay. And hatching rate is 50 to 60%. And hatching rate is 50 to 60%. And we call it this egg incubation period. In carp, you get only 2 to 3 days. From egg, you get hatchling, small fry. But in trout, it takes around 370 days. It means, suppose temperature during this winter months is remaining 10 degree, 8 degree, 7 degree. So depending on your water temperature, it takes around 25 days, 30 days, 35 days, sometimes 50 days also in many hatcheries of our country. So this is all about this trout. Trout is very good species being widely used. And now our new young people, they are very much interested to start this trout farming. And this has a very export market also. But since we are not able to produce, so that we are still date, there is no export. And our domestic demand is also not properly filled. So this is one area where this young people, they can see. And this is also one hatchery in Patlikul in Himachal Pradesh. This is indoor hatchery. Hatchery. This is raceway. And then this is this fertilized eggs. This is the raceways in our Sampot farm. This is one raceway. And these are the eggs you can see. And this fertilized egg, Idova. And this is nursery. Nursery ponds means where we could grow smaller fish. And see, everything when we see, it looks very easy. But when you do, there are many small things that you have to take care. Here one thing we find that a lot of unfertilized eggs are there. So white color eggs. So this fertilized will be yellowish growing eggs. Those who are damaged because of fungal infection or any other, so you may have this white colored eggs. So they have, every day you must remove all these things. And when temperature is around 5 degrees, 6 degrees also, so a lot of difficulty also face this farm workers. And these are all raceways in different places. This is a brooder hall in one of our farm in Uttarakhand, Perangana. And this is rainbow trout. And this one is brown trout. That is also being grown in our. That is very suitable for this angling, and in this streams we can use this brown trout. And this egg we brought. I told from this Denmark also, because sometime what happen if you use only one stock of your farm regularly. So there is one genetic term that we call it inbreeding. So that inbreeding result into lower growth of fish, not very fast growing, and many other their feed intake also get reduced. So to avoid all these things, there is every time in all farms we must ensure that stock should be replaced routinely. So to replace the stock, and diversity should be there. Suppose one male is from our Uttarakhand, female maybe we can bring from this Jammu Kashmir or Himachal. So genetic diversity is always good for offspring. So we get good number of fry, fingerling, fast growing also. This year this many departments, Uttarakhand state departments, Himachal, Jammu Kashmir, they brought this Denmark Idova for this trout ka. And then another species I just wanted to share with you, that is called common carp, Amur carp also. Very attractive fish in our hills. So this is also very good for seed production, and demand is also very high. And the temperature you require for this breeding is around 20 to 23. When this temperature comes around March, April, we get this temperature in our hilly areas. So you can start this, and very easy to breed. It takes around 1 to 2 years for getting this maturity. So this is one common carp, Amur carp, and these are the male females. And this is the seed of this Amur carp. This is called Hungarian common carp that we used to grow in our one farm at Champavat. So this is the way how we see stock fish from one place to another. This is this packed fish. This stock recently, last month only, we stocked some few farmers pond by this stunted fingerlings in this area, in our Bhimtal area. So transportation of seed, you may be thinking that it is very difficult, very easy, but everything is standardized. Only thing you must be knowing the basics of all these things. And this is one story, small story I would like to share with you, small. One farmer is there in Champavat district in Uttarakhand, Champavat, that is near to Pithoragarh, that is China border. Okay. So that is 100 square meter tank. He used to grow grass carp, silver carp and common carp, mid-hill area, around 1,700 meter the altitude is here. So he used to grow only grass carp, silver carp and common carp. Growth was not that much. So once he came to our farm there, and we suggested you can stock some ornamental fish. Ornamental only, very common ornamental, goldfish and koi carp. So he stocked this goldfish and common carp in this pond, his tank. And this is cemented tanks. And by side he used to grow vegetables. His mother, he was not very much interested to start feed. You see, there are many social stigma also. His mother said, no, I don't like this fish. So you can stock. Then it was decided that she said you will be selling fish. That is not good. This thing, that thing. So he said, okay, I will be stocking ornamental for you, and grass carp and silver carp, common carp, I will sell, no problem. So that is good work. There is no crime and other thing like this. So she used to give every day morning, she will give this grass to this grass carp fish. Surprisingly, and this is the fish, it was stocked around 25, 30 mm size. Now it is around 20 gram, 30 gram, 40 gram, sometimes 60 gram also. And grass carp growth is also very good. That water he is using for this irrigating his this vegetable. And total through this 17,500, that was actual amount he earned through this activity from a small 100 square meter pond in Champavat by selling fish plus this ornamental. So there, see, in many places what happened, no? Here in hills, you must be knowing, you are also from very remote places. Sometimes people may not like to go to main market, and it costs them also. So even if locally ornamental fish is available, they can pay higher also. So this was the condition. See, normally you get 10 rupees, 20 rupees, 30 rupees, 50 rupees pair. But he used to get sometimes 500, 200, 300. Through this also he got good money. So likewise, we can also start in our place, not only with this only fish. If we can stock some ornamental fish also, that will increase our this income also. And then this we call it integrated fish farming. So people are using this cow, and then cow dung is used for fish farming, and grass is also used. Uneaten grass is also used for feeding the grass carp. So this way also we say around, if you have two good around 4 to 5 big size, means Jersey or Holstein cow, 2 cows sufficient for manuring 1 hectare of pond. 1 hectare of pond. And you can get 3 to 4 ton of fish easily. And then somewhere what happened, no, this paddy straw. So in Allahabad, I tried this paddy straw in a pond. That is also giving very good results for this, along with mixing with cow dung and then this urea. So this help in reducing the salinity. This water was saline area in that area. So this practice used to be very beneficial for fish farmer. In Andhra, you must be knowing, we get earlier. Nowadays we get fish from local also, but in earlier days mostly this fish in northeast also from Andhra. So their industrial aquaculture is coming up. That through this industrial aquaculture, many people they get employment. Some this ice freezing, then feed, then this construction of ponds. So likewise, if you start one activity, no, many people get benefited. So similarly, nobody thought that time when they started this industry will come up to this stage. And then we have this one example in Allahabad area. I was also associated with this pigeon pea in embankment and fish in pond. So because see, for this arhar, you need this area where there is no water retention. Otherwise, this get damaged. So pond embankment, that we call it around 30 to 40% of our area is being wasted in form of pond embankment. So there you can use this pigeon pea, then growing this vegetables. That increases the income of our farmers. So there should not be an inch of land embankment. In water, you have this water they use for irrigating land. That is also, we call it nutritionally balanced one, because of lot of excreta, uneaten feed is there, and dyed fish also is there. So duck is also, khaki kambal is being very popular in our country now. Khaki kambal. And along with khaki kambal ducks, because they are there is one symbiosis between fish and this duck. They are, we call it them aerator. They aerate the pond, and they take also some aquatic animals like